talkSPORt Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Ally McCoist is with me, and that, of course, is Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran, who's
Great
lead singer.
song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Great band.
Well, you know, you look back at sort of bands who sort of defined certain eras, and
Yes.
they were 80s, weren't they?
Yes.
80s pop.
Girls on Film.
Yeah.
Rio, the lot. I loved them.
Wild Boys.
Wild Boys, brilliant.
Save a Prayer.
What was the first one? I've got it. I think I've got it. I think it was Planet Earth.
Planet Earth. It was. Yeah.
And I think Old Fletch, I think my commentator, my sidekick was there last night. I want to say Duran Duran were playing Nottingham last night. Yeah, there's a bit of information, didn't you, here in talkSPORt this morning.
And, of course, Bond theme tune as well with View to a Kill.
Oh, very good.
You know? But what a band. What a band. They're one of my wife's favourite bands as well. And
Great band.
She's just out of bed, so she's probably listening.
Well, I'm with her totally.
I hear little clips like that, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, the next time I go for a short break, because I never call them holidays, I always call them short breaks. The next time I go for a short break, I'm going to have a little listen to, you know, the best of Duran Duran or whatever, you know, take me back to my, I was going to say take me back to my youth, but the 80s wasn't quite my youth, but not far off it.
I've done my usual again. You hit the nerve there on me. Left my blinking headphones on the plane again.
No, you didn't.
Jeff, I swear to God. I'm not kidding you, mate. I think that's about at least the fifth time I've done that.
Yeah.
I stick them in that wee pocket thing at the front, man. And I just, and instead, the first thing I should do when I go to go off a plane, check pockets, keys, phone, and headphones.
Yeah.
Nah, I've done it. I think so. I think they're somewhere in Norway. Not even Heathrow.
Yeah. Here's a daft story for you. Coming up on the train last night, when suddenly a sort of guy, sort of early 20s, comes into the carriage and said, "Has anybody seen my shoes?" He said, "I've left my shoes in here." And he'd been sitting in this carriage and he'd taken his shoes off and gone to another carriage, barefoot.
No.
And he's left his shoes under the seats where somebody is now sitting in there. I mean, I've never seen anybody lose their shoes on a train journey before.
I like his style.
Yeah. By the way, you mentioned Norway. Just briefly while we're away, Sweden, Mjällby, the mighty Mjällby.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Absolutely. We had the chairman on live.
I know. I saw. Brilliant. How was it?
Oh, brilliant. Champions League now.
What a story.
You know. But they can't play on their own ground. It's too small.
Yeah. So where will they move to? Where would the nearest place be?
Well, I don't know, because I think Stockholm's 6 hours away by road. Gothenburg's 4 hours away. You know, it's pretty difficult to get there. Yeah. So we shall see. But it's just a great story, you know. I mean, my money this season, okay, I've got a treble. Mjällby, Hearts, and Bournemouth to win their respective leagues. I want to know from Corals what price that is.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll say to you right now. It'll be shorter than it was at the start of the season.
Absolutely. Right, it's time to take a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle baking bread? Improve your take-home dough with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
And winter has arrived, because Olivia's arrived, and the first time ever you've got a coat on.
I know. I just when the clocks go back and it just is like so dark, and I'm just like, oh. To be fair, I don't need to be wearing this coat.
The clocks going back is the most stupid idea in the history of stupid ideas.
I completely agree, Jeff.
Right, come on, I need to know why. Right, why? Is it just tell me? Come on, why?
Why what?
Why is it stupid? I don't know what. I'm not saying it's not a stupid idea, but I'd like you to explain to me.
Because we want some daylight hours. We want daylight hours when most people are awake, and that's at the end of the day, not at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, when most sensible people, of course, you're still asleep.
I take your point.
It's rubbish, honestly.
Yeah. I must admit, though, I do find it slightly depressing. See, even get up in the morning, crossing that road, you know, at least when it's light.
It makes you, it's just, and now, like, getting dark at 3 p.m, it's just not for me.
No.
This is why, Jeff, we need to escape to, like, Ali, would you come?
Yes, the three of us. Let's do the show from Acapulco or something like that.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, on the back of all the back pages, as you can imagine, it's all about Arsenal and Abere Eze Eze does it. It took me a while to get that. Easy does it, Eze does it. I was like, oh, that's a bit of a rubbish
Took you a
headline.
while to get that. Well,
I think it's just early in the morning, Ali. Then Gunners in Dreamland as well. But this is my favourite one. Back of the Sun. Happy ever after. Obviously, Abera Eze scoring the only goal of the game as Arsenal beat Palace 1-0. I suppose my first question is then to both of you, is this Arsenal's title to lose now? Because a lot of Arsenal fans are coming out and saying that.
No,
I know we're only 9 games in, but what do you reckon?
It's far too early. But I told you what I did. I can't lie. I fancied Liverpool to win the league, particularly all the signings. And that was my tip to win it. And then after Liverpool beat Arsenal, I actually stuck a few quid on Arsenal after that.
Did you?
Yeah,
Did you?
I did. Oh, I did.
Why?
Absolutely.
What about that game made you think Arsenal?
Arsenal defensively.
Yeah.
I just thought they won't lose goals. They look. I think they're the best back four at this moment in time. By a distance.
They're probably best back four in the world.
It might be.
Look at...
Well, probably, because you look at the attacking teams, the Parises and the Real Madrids and the Barcelonas, generally, they're if they're not all out attack, they're certainly more attack-minded than defensive. I think Arsenal I think you're right, they could be the best back four in the world. I don't think that's a daft statement to make. And I think what Jeff and I were just speaking about it there, Olivia, I think that's the main reason. I look at the other teams, and I just think they will lose goals where Arsenal will not always go out and score threes and fours as we saw at the weekend. But I think generally speaking, they've got enough in their team to nick goals.
They can't keep relying on set plays. They just can't. This is the 4th game they've been involved in this season in 9 Premier League games. It's finished 1-0.
Yep.
Didn't win them all, obviously. And there's a 1-1 in there as well. For me, they've got great players. I love some of the Arsenal players, I love Saka, I love Odegaard when he's playing, I love Eberechi Eze as well. But please be just a bit more expansive. I mean, watching Arsenal against Palace was watching paint dry. It's the classic. It was purgatory. I started watching that match. I'd had enough of it before Arsenal had a shot, actually, because their first shot was 33 minutes when they scored their first goal. I'd turned over by then to watch Villa against City, which was a much better game.
Well, I started with Villa, to be honest with you. For maybe that reason. It was a Villa game I started with after I watched Hearts Celtic. So, yeah, I do take your point. But I also think, Jeff, I just don't think there's enough consistency as we're seeing in Liverpool and City to make it
and that's the point. At the moment, the other challengers are too inconsistent. Yeah. I wanted defensively for us, and we saw Saliba go off, and Mosquera's come on, and by the way, he's been exceptional so far.
Oh, he has
exceptional. Could he be exceptional week in, week out in the title challenging team if they pick up injuries? Because he's just a young boy,
Well, I agree with you, but I think it was the Liverpool game actually come on. When
it was, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I genuinely thought that would be a problem for them if one of their centre-backs get injured. That was the biggest thing for Arsenal. But he looks as though he's come in and he looks the part. And they've got 1 or 2 options now at centre-back, which,
I think that's the squad. I think is the biggest reason why people are saying Arsenal. But you mentioned their defence; they've conceded 2 shots on target in the last 4 games. Ali, I don't want to get worried, but should I be getting worried about Chelsea's 15 goals in a Premier League season? Should I be getting worried that Arsenal are going to break this? They've conceded 3 goals in 9 games. Should I?
Yeah.
Really? What about,
and I tell you,
maybe more worried in March? I don't want to get worried now.
I wouldn't be worrying now. If I was you, I would run about February. I'd give yourself to February. But they look the real deal.
If I was you, Olivia, I wouldn't be worried about historic records. I'd be worried about Chelsea right now.
Oh, I know.
No, Jeff. No, it's fine. Just a little blip. Well, you're probably better because I was on a weekend away. I picked a lovely weekend to go on a weekend away. Didn't watch any football. Watch match of the day. But I think it's really hard to gauge what actually happens when you watch a highlights package. But
well, you can talk about Chelsea and be concerned about Chelsea, but the one thing you've got to talk about Sunderland.
How good they are.
Oh, man, they were terrific. I mean, absolutely terrific. Lively up front, work hard, organised. Yeah, I was.
And we will sing their praises a bit later in the morning. Thanks, Olivia. That was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business. Andy, the Arsenal fan, says, Jeff, I've got to tell you a story regarding losing things on trains. My mum was travelling to Belgium on a train. During a stop at a station, she walked to the catering carriage to get a coffee. Little did she know the train was separating. One going on to Belgium and the one she was in heading back the way it came. Keys, phone and passport went on to Belgium.
No.
Andy, thank you so much for that. Brilliant.
I mean, that is a disaster.
I love it. Coming up, we'll celebrate the brilliance of Hearts and whether a different winner of the SPL would be good for the league. That's next.